Hi, Wine Nation, and hi, and welcome to all of our brand new wine consultants. We want to welcome you to the Wine Shop at Home. So today we're going to share some top tips to get your business off to a successful start. My name is Shelley Whitmarsh-Beal. I am the Director of Field Development here at Wine Shop at Home. On behalf of myself and all of the sales team, Pat, Chat, and Marlene, we took some time to put together some tips for you that will help you get your business off to a great start. So let's get started. So it really all starts with the tasting. So today we're going to talk about some tasting tips to get those tastings, those initial tastings on your calendar. So I'm going to give you some resources, some guidance, some verbiage you can use as well. And hopefully this will help you be set up for success in your first 30, 60, and 90 days of business. So let's get started. So why you want to book tastings now? The most important thing in the heart of your business are your tastings. This helps you obviously in your training period. So like with any new job, you want to get trained, right? And this is how you're going to be able to become more confident, get the practice that you need to be a successful wine consultant, and then of course get comfortable as well. Eventually, this will help you have a stronger business long-term too. So if you get off to a fantastic start and you're feeling comfortable with everything and getting that confidence, you're going to continue to do that with your business long-term. This also helps you get your investment back quickly so you can start making that income. So no matter which kit you purchased, you want to get that initial investment back, of course. So you start earning that income and having that money in the bank. The cool thing about our business is you don't have to have any inventory, which is so nice. Those tasting samplers go directly to your host, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. So you're going to be set up for success if you get those initial tastings on your calendar now. So both from a training perspective and a financial perspective. And like I said, tastings are the heart of your business. You don't have a business if you don't have tastings on your calendar. So this is why we thought this was important to point out some great tips to help get you started initially. So the first thing is you want to start booking your launch and other tastings as soon as possible. So booking those first tastings is going to be imperative to your business to get all that help like we talked about before. So that training and that practice, etc. So booking those first tastings starts with really just making an initial list of people that would want to start helping you out in your brand new business. So we have two different rules that I want to point out to you. We have something called self-host states and no self-host states. If you live in a self-host state, you are welcome to have as many tastings as you'd like in your own home, and you can order those samplers, have it shipped directly to your house, and invite people over to learn more about Wine Shop at Home. If you live in a no self-host state, you cannot have a sampler shipped to your address. So your initial host is going to be probably somebody close to you, somebody that's going to be supportive, but also I recommend somebody that would allow you to invite your friends and family to their home so they can check out a tasting. These two self-host and no self-state rules and information is under the training tab in your back office called New IWCs Start Here. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you where to find it. And there's something called the Rules of the Wine Road. And you want to check that out and see if you're in a self-host or no self-host state. Your sampler cost right now is $29.95, and the shipping is waived for tastings that are held through the end of December. So you really started in a great time. And the value of that sampler is between $120 and $150 in wine for hosts hosts are able to serve this fantastic wine to their guests for only $29.95 plus tax. So the sampler with the shipping would cost about $55, but without that, with the Wine Shop at Home picking up the tab on that shipping price, it's going to be probably around $30 to $35 with the tax included, depending on where you live. So like I said, this is a fantastic time to start now. So when you're reaching out to people, letting them know that they can get the sampler basically at a special price right now through the end of December. So this is another reason you want to get those tastings on your calendar immediately. So if you even signed up today, first thing you want to be looking at is really, when can I hold my first tastings here? Probably in the next 7 to 15 days. And depending on where you live, that will depend on how fast that sampler can get to your host as well. So again, start thinking about those first tastings that you want to book and start just making a small list, like say 6 to 10 people that you think would be interested in hosting a tasting for you. Another thing you want to start understanding is just the basics of the Wine Shop at Home booking rules, I guess you could say. So the first thing is those samplers. You can't have a tasting without a sampler, because if you don't have a sampler, you don't have wine, right? And you can't really have a wine tasting without the wine. our rule here at Wine Shop at Home is it's really not a tasting if you do not have a credit card. So a tasting is not a yes without a credit card, because your host has to purchase that sampler again in order for the tasting to be held. Another basics is just understand the basic principles of the host perks. So your host can earn half price items and also credits towards wine, stemware, accessories, whatever they would like. And that half price items can come from just hosting that tasting, and then also when people book their own tastings from those tastings. So you don't have to understand every little bit of that host program, just the generalizations. So when you're talking to people, they can know that they can get some credits and half price items towards the wine that they have fallen in love with. There is a full detailed resource of the host perks in your wine cellar as well. So if you want to look a little bit closer to that, but really initially just understanding some of the basics of it is what you need to get those initial tastings on your calendar. Once you book them, you can get more detail about that and be able to share more information with that host when she is holding that tasting. So who do I ask to host? Like I talked about, you're going to start making a small contact list. So start making that contact list of who you want to reach out to. Also, how are you going to reach out to them? This is a business of relationship building, right? So it's a business relationship-based business. So really that initial contact you have with someone, I really recommend having some kind of voice contact to them so they can hear how excited you are about your brand new business. So if it's private messenger on Facebook or even texting, sometimes that excitement can't come out as well as if they hear your voice. And when people hear your voice and the excitement of what you're doing and what you have started, you started this cool new wine business, they're probably going to want to hear more and be a part of it as well. So think about that as you're reaching out to people. You can do Facebook Live videos if you choose to as well. That can help portray some excitement. But really, initially, you want to have that one-on-one contact because you want to personally invite them to hold a wine tasting. And you also want to start noting why they may want to host. And I'm going to show you some examples because this can be pretty important as you're reaching out to people in the verbiage that you use. So let's connect the who with the why. So you start making a list of those people in your life that you think would enjoy holding a wine tasting. So let's start with Susan. Why would Susan want to hold a wine tasting, you ask yourself? Well, she loves wine and she's been to wineries. My mom, my sister, because they support me. Lucy always loves getting together for happy hour. Jessica and Bill say we never get together enough as couples. Ruby needs a break from her kids. And Amanda is a home party queen and you've been to many home parties at her house. So you're just making the list of the who and then the why, right? So try to get this initial list to about 10 people. And that's just a starting point to you to start reaching out to people about hosting a wine tasting. So people are going to want to host for multiple different reasons. So just kind of think, why do you think they would want to host? Because that can make all the difference in the world when you are reaching out to them. Because you want to start with, people that you think would initially say yes. Not everybody's going to say yes, and that is okay. They may not want to do it now, but they might want to do it later as well. So always keep that in mind. So a no doesn't mean complete defeat. It's going to happen. So we want you to be prepared for that as well. But everybody's not going to say no. So when do I hold wine tastings? This is important too. So you have your list of your who's and your whys they want to host, but when do you want to work? The beautiful benefit of this business is that flexibility with your wine tasting business. This is your business, so you're going to choose when you work. So think about the days that you're going to host. What days? So this is called calendar control. So every week or every month, you're going to sit down and decide, when am I going to hold my tastings? You may have a traditional job, so you might know I can only do tastings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or I can only do them Saturdays and Sundays, whatever works for you. Remember, you're in control. So not only choosing the days, but also the times you want to hold your tastings. So let's say Saturday, you want to hold maybe a tasting at 2 o'clock and another one at 7 p.m. Those are your times. So these are the dates and times that you're going to communicate to those potential hosts. So knowing who you are going to call and then when you will hold tastings will make it easy for you to get your business set up for a success. So this is going to make you feel more organized and in control of your business. Just like any job, the hours you're going to work, the days you're going to work, it's the same thing. So treat this like a real business, because it is. So even if you're looking at this from a hobby perspective, you might be looking at this also as a career choice for you. So you want to make sure that you are in control of your calendar and your own business. So let's tie it all together. I'm going to give you some verbiage here. So what do you say to potential host word choices? So just some sample verbiage you can use. As part of my training, I need to hold a minimum of 4 tastings between November 15th and December 30th. And I know you enjoy holding get-togethers with your friends. Here's what you get for hosting. In November, for only $29.95 plus tax, you will receive 6 bottles of our premium wine for the tasting, one that we suggest you keep for yourself. Plus, you can receive credits based on the total amount of your tasting, plus additional half-price items, and you can apply these perks to wine, accessories, and stemware. There's a lot of value and fun in hosting a tasting. Just super general. So when you're talking to your friends or family member that you're inviting to hold a tasting, telling them as part of my training, I need to hold a minimum of 4 tastings, and then you can give them those dates. So pick about a 6-week period. And then you're going to say why you think they would enjoy hosting. I know you enjoy holding get-togethers with friends, right? Or I know you love having home parties. Or I know you love wine. You talk about it all the time. And then letting them know this is what you get for hosting. So you're talking about that sampler just from the get-go. They know it's going to cost them something. So then it's going to be easy to ask for that credit card when they say yes. And you're also letting them know what they're going to get from that too. 6 bottles of our premium wine for the tasting, one that we suggest you keep for yourself. That one we suggest they keep for themselves is basically a host thank you bottle that they're going to get. And then you're going to let them know what else they get. They're going to get credits and they're going to get half-price items, so they know there's something in it for them as well. So it's super fun, but there's a lot of value, so it's totally worth it. And this host perks, remember we talked about knowing just the general things of the host perks. This sampler for $29.95, which is 6 full bottles of wine, which is about $120 to $150 in value. Those are full-size bottles too. This is the first perk that your host gets. That wine is theirs. So even if they have 6 or 7 people at the tasting, that wine, you keep it there. You don't take it with you. So they're able to have that on hand for themselves as well. So this is their wine. So where do you see yourself in this business? This is another important thing to ask yourself too, and this kind of goes back to that calendar control too. So are you thinking, you know what, I want to be a hobby consultant? That would be about 1 tasting a week, so something you do as a hobby. Or maybe you're going to be a part-time consultant, like a part-time job. You want to do 2 tastings a week. And a full-time consultant would be at least 3 tastings a week or more. And again, you can choose when you work and how you work. So no matter where you'd like to be at, I suggest holding 6 tastings in your first 30 days will set you up for success from the start. This is your training period, remember, and you'll be able to learn your new business. So even if you're like, I really want to be a hobby consultant, still hold those 6 tastings in your first 30 to even 45 days, and then you can change to that 1 tasting a week. We want to make sure that you're super confident in what you're doing and feel comfortable with your new business, right? Like with any job, you need to learn it and you learn those basics of it too. And the cool thing is you're choosing when you're going to work. And it's also important you block out some time every day to touch your business as well. And you can connect with your upline leader and they'll be able to help you with that. So another important step is working with your leader or the person that welcomed you to Wine Shop at Home. I suggest text them each time you reach someone and let them know what they say. So you know that list we talked about, that first, say, 10 people that you're reaching out to? Once you reach out to that first person, let your leader know, or the person that recruited you. Hey, I just reached out to my first potential host, and they said yes. So share that excitement. Or I reached out to my first person and they said no. This is what I said. They're going to be able to coach you through word choices and situations you may run into. Like I said, everybody may not say yes, but you don't want to get through all 10 of those people and they all say no. Who knows, you know, and then you're going to reach out to your leader and you're going to be like, help, what am I doing? So let's just start with the first person. So share your successes, share some of those challenges with you. Just like any new position, you're going to learn through things. You're going to go through those ebbs and flows. You're going to hit some bumps in the road, but that upline leader is going to be able to sit there and help and coach you through the word choices to help you get more yeses. Remember, they've done this before and they are here to help and support you. They're also going to be able to help you with the next steps, which is host coaching and learning more about your Rich Rewards program. So you're booking those initial tastings, right? So now you have to make sure that they hold, and host coaching is like insurance for your tasting, and they're going to be able to help you and guide you there. And we also have training resources for you to look through. So they're going to explain how You also can earn a raise and give yourself a promotion, right? How do you earn income? When are you going to earn income? So they're going to be able to help you with that as well. And we do have other training videos that you're able to look at, but you want to know, how much am I going to get paid? That's important, right? You start a new job. It's important to know what that income is going to be, of course. And then who doesn't want to give themselves a promotion? So they're going to be able to guide you through that as well. So remember, your top priorities are book your first tastings and get those samplers ordered. Date 4 or more additional tastings. 6 is best. You also can work on something called your 40 host in 4 minutes, and this will give you additional bookings. And this helps you kind of a mind trigger of different people you can reach out to, and I'm going to show you where you can find that. And then the training series, start exploring when you have those tastings dated. The most important thing, like we talked about, is getting those tastings dated. So I'm going to show you where a training resource is for you. So when you go into your wine cellar and you log in, you're going to see these tabs at the top. I want you to go to the training tab, and it says new IWCs, start here. These are training resources to help you get started in your business. This is also where the Rules of the Wine Road video is, and that's up at the top. It's like the first video that you will run into. So there's trainings that are broken out into 4 different sections here, and they talk about just booking those initial tastings, and then once you booked them, working through holding them, what's going to happen when you hold them. Also, there's resources to income and other programs that we have, and you're able to take a look at that. So with that, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this little short training to help you get your business off to a fantastic start. So every Monday evening at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have a weekly training. So example, last week, our call was on the career plan. We changed the topics weekly. This week we did something on America's Mighty Warriors, or we might be doing something on earning the incentive trip, whatever it might be. So every Monday evening you will receive an email. Actually on Monday it'll tell you what the training topic is, and then every single Wednesday there's an update that goes out, and it also has the training topics there as well. So be sure to take advantage of all the resources and training, but the most important thing is really working with your upline leader, and they're going to help you get your business off to an even more successful start. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me as well. My email is Shelley, SHELLEY, @wineshopathome.com. So with that, have a fantastic day and good luck in your new wine business.